What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumb for having listened to it.
Hey idiots! Long time no chat. Welcome to Ignorance is Blessed, podcast that attempts to overcome ignorance, mostly by asking ignorant questions with me, your host, JMS. I am a comedian. I know nothing, so we're here. It's been a while. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. You haven't missed a thing. I've been very diligent. I was on the road and, frankly, just depressed and a maniac. So, been a couple weeks for an episode. Hope you're still bearing with me. If you're just joining, please subscribe, rate, review the podcast on iTunes. Would love to get some more reviews. We're coming up on our 100th episode, which it really shouldn't have taken that long, but obviously I have a pattern. Anyways, the reviews helps other people find it, and then more of us can learn answers to all of our ignorant questions. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers and reviewers. Shout out to my best idiots forever on Patreon. Gene, Dustin, and Kathy. You guys rock. And I adore all of you. Want to join the Patreon? Patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed. I'm getting postcards in the mail this week. I send postcards to people. We do bonus content. It's real fun over there. We're going to make it more fun. I'm putting this at the top of my priority list for 2020. I took on a few too many things last year and didn't give 100% to any of them because I stretched myself too thin. So I was trying, but you just can't give 100% when you're doing 400 projects. So cutting things out, it'll be this and my other podcast, Name That Pod, and then my stand-up and the musical I'm working on, which some people might say is still too many things. So it's significantly less than I was trying to do. So I can finally give my musical, which is doing a read-through in LA. If you're in LA for the holiday season, December 26th, the day after Christmas, come on out to the Hollywood Improv, 9:30 p.m. Me and Jeffrey Baldinger, who I co-wrote the musical with. He did so much of the music. I did a lot of lyrics, but like Jeffrey, he took this thing to Edinburgh to beat it out, and I wasn't able to because I was trying and failing at other things. So he is a saint. And the guest today actually is going to be in the read-through, reading as Satan, which is the biggest, probably most important part, and she's so fucking incredible, and I'm so excited to have a female person playing a male role because I think that's just freaking awesome. You guys, if you've been listening to the show, you know her, you love her. It's Madison Shepard. She's been on a previous episode or two, and she's back because she just released a comedy album, and that's what we talk about. We talk about DIY comedy albums because I've done one as well, so I pick her brain about how her process was. You will hear some scratchiness in the audio because at the time, the Zoom I'm talking to you on was not cooperating. So we ghetto rigged our interview by each talking into our headsets for our cell phone. And I put those tracks together, but we didn't think to hold our cords, like the wires attaching it. So there's a lot of like swishing around. So if you are misophonic, you've probably tuned out to this podcast years ago because I make lots of weird noises, but just trigger warning, there's going to be some in between some of it, and I'm very sorry. I tried my best and with the noise reduction and all those other things on Adobe, but alas, I don't know if it was hopeless or I'm just not good enough, but here we are. Anyway, Madison's awesome. Check her out. Go follow her. Go get her new album right on our website, MadisonShepard.com. Just download it for $5. Cool little EP right there. All right, here you go. Madison Shepard. Hey, idiots. Yeah, no, listen. This is very appropriate for what we're discussing today. I'm here with Madison Shepard, former guest of the show, longtime friend.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks for joining us. We had an audio fiasco, so now we have ghetto rigged both of our iPhones, and I'm going to sync the audio, and I don't know, it's just, as Madison said right before we started, I was like, wow, you're a genius, and she's like, I'm poor. It's amazing the solutions you can come up with.
Yeah.
In the throes of poverty.
You literally just have to get creative with it. Otherwise, it's like,
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I mean, with the internet nowadays, too, there's so much information.
Sometimes for the worst. I mean,
for the worst. Yeah. I just tried, because I tried to find a tutorial on, like, something's wrong with my card. And I found a video, and I was like, this looks promising. It's just a man taking his SD card in and out of the audio recorder that's just like mine. And he's like, and no matter what I do, it says no card, and it won't read it. And, like, I was waiting for him to have, like, a fix, and he just gets to the end, and he's like, I just don't know what to do. I was like, why did this man make a video just being like, it's not working, I don't know what to do? Like, post in a forum. What are you doing? You don't need to make...
fucking insane.
By the way, I think it had, like, 14,000 likes on it. I was like, what's happening?
Everyone's like, yeah, we agree. We also don't know what to do.
My God. It's a nightmare. But I guess on that note, talking about audio.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. You just released your very first album, EP.
I did.
What are you calling it?
Yeah.
The EP.
I mean, it's I don't know what the difference between EP and album is.
I really don't know what EP means.
But
shorter album?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just did it's like 16 minutes altogether.
Nice.
I probably could have cut some more of the dead air out and made it a smooth 15, but
no, let people wait. Let them sit in the silence.
They could just deal with the pause.
In the pause
comedy.
between, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to take a breath. I think on my first album, I'm saying that like I have
you're going to have
albums.
more albums.
I will.
I'm encouraging you to do another album.
I want to talk to you about your self-publishing, because I've had an idea I wanted to release like mini, I don't know if I would call them albums, but like just jokes that maybe I'm not going to put in a special or just haven't been fully worked out, but like temporarily, and then pull them down. So if people want to buy them for like $5 and be like, for a week, I have this set up about maybe like topical or something.
Yeah.
And then you can buy it now, but it won't be there the whole time, and like make it.
I love that.
Limited edition.
Also, a thing with that too is you can put it so when you self-produce, let's slow it down for people who maybe don't know. So self-producing, we use a website called TuneCore where you self-distribute the music or comedy to anywhere,
every platform, anywhere you can download music,
basically. And my cat's trying to jump off the. Okay, all right.
I've heard enough about your album.
She's like, I don't give a shit about comedy.
I'm so sick of this.
My cat hates comedy. She's not an ally to female comics.
No.
But so for like a fee, and there's different.
My cat, Cat Rolla.
Okay, all right. I keep trying to help her, but she's like not.
You guys, if you could see this, she's just a skinny older cat. Madison recently adopted. What? I can't see it.
Her hind legs don't have any hair. Look at
poor little baby.
She's old.
And Madison's got a new puppy in the house, and it is really rocking the world of this cat.
This cat is not about it. But okay, so
we're just on an audio podcast staring at a cat looking at the window. This is really lovely. People are like, this is the content I come to the internet for. People talking about a cat I can't see. Describe the cat to me. That's honestly, in some sort of alternative comedy world, that would be a hit.
Is she jumping? Is she
I don't know.
Jump?
We don't know. And she landed safely.
10-10.
Big paws. Great job. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
You see? This
Very
is her.
artistic.
Okay, so TuneCore, sorry. Okay, so that's you can edit all this shit out.
I will absolutely not.
Okay.
You guys can deal with it.
TuneCore is a distribution website. You can pay various amounts of fees depending on the length of your album, depending on the services you want to get from them.
Yeah, if you want like every single outlet, or if you just want something specific.
Yeah, and so it's tiered. It's all under $100 though.
Yes,
like sometimes you could even release something for as little as $30.
Absolutely.
So like, there's really no excuse for you not to make your own shit.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, absolutely. It used to be a thing, back in the day when there were like physical albums, or before everything was so accessible with the internet. It was, you really were at the mercy of, will the entertainment industry bestow its,
It's
rite of passage upon me where it's like, well, they select me to be one of the lucky ones.
Right.
And now it's like, you don't have to wait on some magic cigar smoking man at a record company to be like, you're going to be a star, kid.
The modern day version of that is like a 20-something USC graduate who's like, oh my God, I love how go-getter-ish you are. Like, oh my God. That's who you sit across at meetings now, though.
Like, yeah, wow. I can't wait for 2 hours to pass and you tell me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, like keep it up. I love it. Whoa.
I was going to quit.
We're tracking.
We've got our eye on you.
We'll keep in touch. And then you never hear from them again.
Be like, I bet I'll bump into you in 6 months and you won't know who I am.
Right.
But thank you.
Thank you. So TuneCore, you can, so just to kind of back you up. So depending on the length of the song, the track, TuneCore does do like you can release singles, you can release EPs, you can release full length albums. For like pretty cheap. And so like I would recommend, if you want to do that, if that's what your vision is pulling you to, fucking stay in your vision. So like I think we had talked previously too about like if you are gonna like put something up and then take it down, then put it on your website.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
So then people can like directly. So when you put it on your website, you pick. For me, I use Squarespace, and so this is not an ad.
No, I use Wix, but you may convince me to switch to Squarespace based on whatever you say next.
My regular Squarespace website, which I've had for years, was only like $16 a month, which is like really nothing. Sometimes it didn't go through.
Been there.
You know what I mean?
Well, you're like, hope nobody's looking for my website today. When it just has that like pop up of like, this does not exist, or and you're like, boy, whoops.
Oh, the cat's drinking water, so you hear her
so you hear that little ding in the background. She's adding her sound effects.
It's an NPR recording.
Yes. That's so. Is that what they're doing? Just one man, guy, whatever his name is, alone in a basement with his cat.
So it's $16 a month for like the regular, but then they have a commerce thing, and that one is a little bit more. It's $27 a month to sell things on your website.
Okay.
Now, what's cool about that is, as you saw from mine, you can buy my album for $5 on the website. It's really, really simple. I just made a zip file with the album tracks, the album art, and then I made a track list because I realized
it just comes as like.
It comes out.
Yeah, I downloaded it. I haven't heard it yet. I'm very excited to listen, but that's what I did.
Yeah. So like it downloads as like one big file, and then you can put it on your media player or whatever. But I really suggest it because I was really freaked out. Like part of the like struggle of putting this EP out was like because I had never done it before, like making sure that like all the stuff was actually like happening in the time that I wanted it to,
which is so hard
to like meet the deadline, you know, and there was just a lot of like barriers there, but actually Squarespace was super fucking easy.
Really?
And I was worried about like, if I set up the PayPal, because you know, when you set up a new PayPal account, it takes time. And I was like, is it going to make me set up a new account? Can I use my old one? All this stuff. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. No, it's very easy. It literally took 15 minutes. They were like, what's your Venmo? What's your PayPal?
Such a blessing.
And they just put the money directly in there.
Oh, that's great.
And they do a disbursement every Monday.
Oh.
And so, yeah. So now I'm like, oh shit. Like now I'm like empowered to be like, I should start like selling merch on my website, like more actively.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, you know, I could, and the fee for their thing is 3%, which is high for like merchant, like processing fee. Like a lot of stores get like 2% or like 1.9 or something like that. But like, let's just be frank, we're not doing that much bulk transaction.
No. So it's like,
so we have to pay the higher fee.
It's just part of it.
You know, it's pretty, I feel really good about it. We'll see. I'm getting my first disbursement on Monday.
I'm so excited for you to like see like just that first little bump. And there's where with like TuneCore, it sometimes takes a while to roll in.
Yeah.
With like the various services, because you'll have like iTunes, but it comes out in like chunks.
Napster, iTunes, Google Play. And
I know. When I saw that had Napster, I was like, that's so funny. Tidal?
Yeah, Tidal, which I don't even listen. I don't have it. I can't afford it.
No. I don't know who has Tidal.
I literally don't know a single person who has Tidal.
No, but
thank you for listening.
Yes, someone listened to mine once, and I was like, that's hilarious. It has to be a mistake. was like they were looking for me on Tidal, but
I feel like it's only Jay-Z and Beyonce fans, and
like hardcore.
We're not the Venn diagram of that.
Yeah, you have to be a huge fan of both of them. And I'm like, I mean, like Jay-Z's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
you know, to me, Jay-Z will always be Beyonce's husband.
Yes. Fact.
And that's just
Big
how it
Pimpin'.
goes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I was like, there's a couple
and Jay-Z,
couple
and
moments
Beyonce's.
that pop out to me in his music career, but like overall, the biggest thing he ever did was be with Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like, what a lucky guy that he found her and she just cleaned him up off the streets. Really?
Who adopted who, though? I mean,
who upgraded who? It's so hard to tell. Wow, that's so interesting. Yeah, because on your website, that's like a separate. You like put that on the website separately.
Yeah, and I've been telling people to do that just because I can recoup the expenses quicker for myself. Yeah. So that has been kind of nice. I mean, I'm also okay. So there's a couple things like when you DIY stuff, there are struggles that you don't know you're going to face until you face them.
And then you're like, I didn't even think this would be a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you remember I was editing at your house,
yes,
and there were one time the WeTransfer with the actual mic recordings got cut off halfway through, so half of the album was gone. Another time I like downloaded it to like upload. You download once you edit everything in Adobe Audition, you can then upload it directly to TuneCore, and you do individual tracks, and it's like really dumb easy. They make it pretty simple, but still. Well, I still fucked it up. I somehow downloaded it in mono, so it only played out of the left speaker.
Oh no!
So then I started this new job. It was this whole scheduling fiasco. Yeah. Eventually, it got sorted out, obviously, because the album is up. It's mixed. I mixed it myself using YouTube tutorials.
That is so impressive. Yeah, because you guys, I have Adobe software where I will I edit my podcast, but I know so little. I do very basic cut. Move stuff over and then like usually put on one of the preset filters and I'm like, I edited. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you're more than welcome to use this. I can't give you any sort of guidance. But have at it. Yeah. Yeah, you were there like in the trenches.
I was literally learning now it's like I would feel more comfortable coming back to it.
Yeah. You know? But then you're like, how long before I edit another thing am I going to lose those skills?
Right. Well, okay. So the coffee's kicking in, guys. I just want to say.
Lean in. Tell us everything.
So the plan for me, I think, over the next 3 years is this year I released 15 minutes. Next year I'll release 30. And the year after that I'll release an hour.
An hour? Are you going to do all new material on each?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try.
Nice.
We'll see.
It's a good goal. Well, the thing is that's
the hour might be a little trickier, but I can write 30 new minutes, I think.
For sure.
Between now and
or you can take premises or jokes that you didn't have on the 15.
Right. There was stuff.
And make them bigger.
There's like 15 minutes that I definitely didn't put on this EP that I'm like, okay, but now I'll have a new home for it.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing about self-producing is that like you can always push back. If you're like, I want another month. It's a little bit longer than I said it was going to be. Or like, there's no someone, for better or worse, no one's waving a check in your face and going like, give us an hour. So then you cram something out just to
have it out.
Because someone offered you money, which obviously neither of us would say no to some large sum of money. Right. But like, I do feel like there are comedians who have pushed out hours because they had heat and, someone is like, we'll pay you to do a special. And it's like, boy, this is not special at all. Or like whatever.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that control of the time, but also like it's good knowing you can do that. You can make those goals for yourself.
Yeah. Well, also because it's like, I'm just treating it kind of like a band where it's like all of this material will eventually go mainstream at some point. Yeah. And so basically by having it on my website, and sure, like again, the sales are not like. I'm not like banging, I'm like slowly recouping my $700 investment.
It's always something where, like it's there. So people will keep buying it. You'll gain new fans.
The more heat I get, then the more that direct purchase will hit my pocketbook.
Absolutely.
And, I think we've talked about this, but I don't think other people realize, but there's comedy record labels run by very lovely people.
Oh, yeah.
Very sweet people. And this is an excellent route for some people, but someone like me or you, where we're, already kind of DIY a little.
Anyway, it's like, why am I going to let you take?
Why am I going to? it's if I make $5, why am I going to give you 3 of them?
Yes. When it's like, if the money isn't that as important to you as just getting out a piece of content, I guess fine. Like if it's so hard for you to like put everything together, because there are moments when I'm editing anything, video, audio, where I go, yeah, I get why people pay editors so much. And then I go, I can't. Yeah. But I understand why why you would pay for that level of convenience, because this is so difficult.
It's horrible.
But yeah, no, and I feel like that about industry stuff too, of just like, yeah, I don't want to give someone a percentage for doing what? I mean, I've had labels be like, we'd love to do your next album, and like allegedly reputable, and I'll see other people put records out on them, and I'm like, I hope they didn't take that deal that they offered me, where it's like, and we'll just take 50%. It's like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah, so it's like 50% until they recoup their $5,000 or $6,000 investment.
Where it's like, I've made an album, you didn't pay that much.
You didn't fucking the venue didn't cost that much,
right? And you see the cover art, and it's like terrible Photoshop.
Yeah, it's like what is
like a title in a corny font.
Listen, speaking of titles, I mean,
Oh yeah, let's talk about it, because this is gold.
So I misspelled my album name on my album art.
So is that what's in the zip file?
The zip file has a corrected one because
you went and changed.
Yeah.
But with everything else, are they like, no?
So initially, TuneCore was like, yeah, you'll basically have to like take down your album, and by the way, repay us to post it again, and also lose all of the like statistics and everything. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, no, absolutely not. And then they're like, or you can like reach out to these different groups individually and have them change the album art.
Or like to iTunes.
Yeah. So that's what my plan is just to like
one by one as you have time. And
like I'll do
Google,
iTunes,
Amazon,
Google,
Napster,
Tidal,
obviously.
Yeah, Napster's very important.
Where we all are.
I have a joke on my album about Napster, so
that's so funny.
Yeah.
What if you become the reason Napster comes back?
Again.
You're like you get some sort of like, what if they want to do your next album?
Who would be more shocked, them or me?
I mean, truly. Although it would be. I would think it would make sense for Napster to try to do someone's album.
Yeah,
because they're so under the radar. But I guess like, who is still using that? It's got to be people who have just had it the whole time,
right? Also, like, it seems like their whole shit was like kind of being like anti-industry establishment.
Yeah.
And so it would make sense that they did that. But also, like, I just think that like artists, we should just be releasing that shit ourselves. Like 100%. I can't like that. That's the thing where I'm like, I know that I'm not famous enough now for these albums to really make an impact. But in 5, 10, 15 years, when I fucking hit a stride, this is going to be like, oh, this is the documentation. She's been here. She's been making comedy.
Absolutely.
She's always been, doing her own thing. So it speaks to my work. It speaks to me, and it builds the myth of who Madison Shepard is.
Oh, that quote brand or...
Right.
Oh, yeah, because I remember I put my album out thinking like that, and then also that it was like almost a time capsule.
Yeah.
Like with the hope.
100%
the hope that I will evolve as a comedian.
Yes.
And, 10, 15 years later, someone will hear my work then and go, have you heard her first album? And it's, maybe totally different.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to like think, like there's a podcast, which is not to plug another podcast, which neither of us have been.
How dare you? No,
but it's called The Good Ones. It's on it's Vulture's podcast.
Nice.
And their senior editor sits down with a famous comic, and he'll take a joke with a comic from when it first got on the radar, the next time it was on the radar, and then like kind of its final form.
I love that.
Like for Moshe Kasher, for example, he took like a joke that was on his first album, and then how it ended up, I think I want to say on Late Night, and then how it ended up on a special. So it's like kind of how the joke, this idea that we don't reuse material.
Yeah, because I thought that for a while. I was like, I guess I can't use any of this anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, my friend Sarah Schaefer, I think you know her. She just had her half hour come out.
Yes.
And her album came out last year, and the kind of the central joke of it was, I don't want to like, fuck up her joke, but like, having a piece of driftwood with funny font that says like live, laugh, love. And that's like the title of her album. It's the album art cover.
I just saw a clip. I think you might have shared a clip.
Yeah. And there's a clip of that joke.
And that's my mom's, by the way, soul decorating. I was like, this is too close to home. I feel attacked.
My mom has Believe in her restroom. I'm like,
Mom, what?
What's happening in your restroom?
My mom has, it's like a porcelain toilet seat lid, and it's got like baseball, like I don't want to say memorabilia, but sort of just baseball themed stuff around it, and it says, "Those with short bats, please crowd the plate." It's like if you have a small dick, don't pee on the floor, basically. But like, that's just her. I mean, she has signs everywhere. That's like she has like a wooden sign that says "Housework makes you ugly." And, like, just she has basically, like, decorative signs that are justifying why her house is like this. It's like, laundry is for losers. She doesn't have one that says that, but I'm sure she has something.
That says, like, doing laundry is fucked up my
Yeah, one of those, like, we eat 3 meals in this house, like, takeout, whatever. One of those, corny.
Delivery takeout.
So I cut you off because I was like, the wooden signs.
Oh, no.
Like, so they were on her album.
They were on her album. Like, one of the things, I actually had 2 comics kind of older statesperson sit me down and be like, what are you doing? Because I was going to release 30. Yeah. And they were like, what are you doing? You're like going to burn material. Like you maybe won't be able to like take that material someplace else because some people will be like, oh, well, it's already out. And seeing the fact that Sarah had jokes from her album in her half hour, like within a year. These are not like...
This isn't way far apart.
Right. These are just more like Comedy Central has more faith in the fact that they have a bigger reach than Sarah's.
They're like, we're going to put these jokes in front of someone, a lot to people who don't even know that you have an album. They've never heard of you.
Never heard of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is great. Like I want to create that. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
because I've gone back now with the, like, because I've gone through ideas for like what I want to do for an hour, and like I've completely overhauled. Like you hosted a show for me where I was doing an hour, and I did like it was all dirty. It's all stuff that I like, but I've recently had like I want to make it, if it's my first special, a little more, I don't know, a little more about just like personal life and stuff. And so, but I realized I'm going back to like bits from my album and making them stronger, where it's like I kind of was like, I guess I just don't do that anymore, and it's like, no, it's fine to... I also think it's kind of cool. I've heard a couple comedians redo jokes in things and gone like, wow, look what they did with that.
Exactly. That's the part that's like when you're, for better, or I don't know if there's a better term for it, but like a comedy nerd, like when you appreciate joke writing, I love to see that. It's like when you see a comic just out and about in the world and they do a joke that you saw, you're like, oh, this is fun. This is a good premise. You see it like 2 years ago. And now you see it today, and it's the same joke, but it's like deepened and stretched and rich and is like fully formed.
Yeah.
It's like, that is so fulfilling to watch.
So cool. Yeah, that's what I love about, and I wish I need to do more of it, about just going out in the scene and watching people too. Because like I've seen people, I mean, obviously this isn't just someone who's like out in the scene with us, but I remember being backstage at the Comedy Store with Bill Burr and like a bunch of comedians, and I was somehow in this circle of people having a conversation, and I was like, oh my God. But like just talking about, I don't even know what it was, some hot button issue in the news, and he's ranting and raving, like everyone's, giving their opinion, and then he goes on stage and just kind of just continued what his like stream of consciousness thought on what we were talking about. And then a couple weeks later I saw that it had like been tweaked, and he made what he was thinking like into a bit, and I was like, whoa.
It's alchemy.
Nuts. Yeah.
It's alchemy.
No, it really is that we're like, we're like turning ideas into, I mean, emotional tools, really, is that you're like changing people's emotional state with words, which is crazy to me.
It's crazy. And also to make them think about life and laugh at something or whatever. Because like the most impactful shit is the stuff that you leave thinking about, and you're like, that was really funny, but man, they're right. There's like these moments in comedy specials of like throughout history where it's like, when somebody says something, you're like, oh yeah, wow, that changes my perspective going forward.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I see everything from that lens now. You're
right.
Like, ha ha ha, oh.
Yeah. I have a joke on my album that's about sleeping with jazz musicians and
Hilarious.
like being like, haha, you know, making fun of them or whatever. But I wrote the joke about a specific guy. Well, it's like two guys and
Miles Davis.
Duke Ellington. I'm very old. My pussy is
I'm 87.
But what's interesting is since the album has come out, but also I guess like within the last month, that guy was a teacher at a school that was a part of a school shooting.
Oh.
And there's like accounts from like kids. I read like articles of kids who were like in his classroom texting their parents, like maybe final thoughts as like this is happening around them.
Whoa.
And so that sort of, you know, for me, I go, oh my God, that sort of changes the timbre of the joke for me. It changes like, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell who he is based
through the
on
joke, but it's still the perspective you have of.
Right. Or like even like my saying that there was a school shooting locally recently doesn't mean shit. Like, because by the time this comes out, there will likely be another one.
Oh, probably more than one.
Yeah. So it's like, so now, like last night I had a set and I'm like working on, and it's a little bit too dark now, but it's like.
That's how it goes. You have to cross the line.
Yeah. I like literally was like, you know, just as an epilogue to that joke, you know, I texted him, hey, this happened, you know, my condolences to you, your community, whatever. And like, he doesn't respond. And it's like, is he ghosting me or is he becoming an actual ghost? Yeah. You know, it's like this idea. Right. Like, so I'm like, okay, so that's something that probably by the time this joke makes it onto television or something, it'll have a whole different, it'll go from being just about fucking some guy to fucking some guy who was directly affected by gun violence and how that has changed me and maybe him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that only happens through living life.
Oh, of course.
And like now I'm like, oh, that joke has a new back end that I'm now developing.
Which you never could have just come up with.
There's no fucking way I would have thought of that.
Absolutely
had
not.
we not had gone through this
also,
terrible
it would have
tragedy.
been insane if you thought of that.
Jesus.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what to me is like the concept of like cancel culture or whatever, that like the thought that like maybe people are coming to comedy shows to, you know, and obviously like I don't think anyone's coming to our comedy shows to like out us, you know,
Right.
but like maybe coming with the intention of filming or like wanting to be upset that like the fear of like someone seeing me do something that's extremely raw. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want, and not even that I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid that I'm gonna be too afraid to go as far as I need to go. Because for me, some of my jokes come from like talking it out. Mm-hmm. And I
from a very dark place.
Yeah, it's from an extremely dark place where it's like I'll have sets where it's like, this is more like a eulogy today, but you know, in a few weeks we'll have some punchlines. Yeah. But like that fear of like, I'm so worried about upsetting someone or offending someone like that I don't want to cross a line. Because some of my best stuff has come from going too far and then being like, okay, where can I reel it back to? What did they resonate with? What is okay?
Right, and then just throwing a stone.
Just a little ding.
Just a little, and here's a tag that's too far.
Just like AIDS? Okay. I'm stopping.
Your mom's dead? Okay, rape? Right. Okay. You're just
great.
a little.
It's fine. Me too. Hashtag. So, yeah, we go. Because it is a little like towing the line. And I don't even know. I now question if there's things on my own album that I'm like, I don't think I did anything like offensive. I think most of what I do is like self-deprecating and dirty. But
right. All of that kind of stuff, everything comes and goes. So even if it's out of vogue or whatever, like eventually
it circles back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's the thing is with the idea that there's this, you can't say anything, which I don't think is true. Mm-hmm. But like, quote, PC comedy being popular or this post-comedy or whatever they're calling the net. I feel like at some point, everything, it's all cyclical. At some point, it's going to be like people want the like Lisa Lampanelli level offensive, like cartoonishly awful. And that'll be my moment. No.
Listen, I mean, also this idea that like I mean, I certainly think, you know, as comics who are not famous yet.
Yeah.
And
I always wonder when people do that, like pretend that I think, what? Don't say that in front of my dog. She thinks I'm a celebrity.
Don't say it in front of my boyfriend. He thinks the same.
Oh my God, my boyfriend too. Sorry, Andy.
I'm not famous. But, you know, I think it has shaped the way that we write jokes, the way that we perform jokes, the
Absolutely.
way, because like maybe if we had started comedy, first of all, I don't know that we would have both started comedy 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that like we would have even like crossed our mind to become female comics.
No.
Number one, we were too young, but like if we were at the same age that we are now, then
it's like, would that have been the path?
Right. So I think that we are just having a different experience because that is the experience we're having.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I definitely know there's like stuff I just don't even touch or won't talk about. And
like kids. No.
Yeah, I definitely don't touch kids. You know, where I'm like, wow, I'm just never gonna, that's probably a no zone for me. Or like certain words I won't use because I'm like that. Like I even like have been, like I'm a Black person. And I have a lived Black experience. Yes. But now I'm even conscious of saying like nigga on stage or Negro on stage because I've had people be like, oh, that's an offensive word to me. Like other Black people say that. And
you're like, well, I don't want you to be taken out of the experience.
Right. I don't want to.
Because you're jarred by a word that maybe brings up something or that is just so, you know, innately hurtful to you.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the tap dancer, which I guess in theory would make you, you know, hopefully a stronger writer because you're finding ways to go
have the same conversation but different
without using a word that's going to like set off alarm bells in someone's head because that's the thing is realizing, you know, you can go like, oh, I'm so sensitive, and it's like, well, yeah, some people are, and like maybe that sucks for comedy, but it's like, can you rewrite that joke in a way that that person didn't stop listening because they were so jarred by a word because it brought up who knows what, you know, myriad of things. So cutting your album down to about 15 when you had originally had like 30 planned was
after a conversation with two comics.
Yeah. Are they more successful than you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm only saying that.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, I'm projecting because it took me a long time because I wish I've gotten better, but I'm not where I want to be with trusting my instincts.
Yeah. And
the amount of like advice I would take in from people who I'm like, in retrospect, I'm like, yeah, you don't have a career I want.
Right.
Why am I listening to you?
Also, like, you don't do the same thing as me.
Yeah.
Like, we do different things.
And I go like, oh yeah, good idea. And it's like, wait, what?
The few things that I've done, all the shit that save for like my one TV credit, like, and even that, whatever, but like, save for my one like TV credit, my Comedy Central credits are from shit that I created.
Yeah,
like, I had to go out and like find an animator and like write this thing and write a story in 1 minute and cast my friends and produce it and get it out and all this in time for them. But like that's the path I'm on. Yeah. So if I'm a creator, I have to create and I have to, like last year it was all about getting those 2 cartoons out. This year it was about getting that album out. Mm-hmm. Next year, you know, I'm thinking about starting. I have like all these like harebrained ideas.
Oh no,
you're similar to me.
Yeah, I literally was Googling. I mean, this is pathetic, but I was like trying to find the research-based. How many projects is too many projects? Like if there was like a cap for like what you can actually handle.
I mean,
by the way, the jury's out.
The woo-woo says you're only limited by your own limiting self, beliefs.
The woo-woos are all trust funded.
Yes.
No. And I aspire to be one of them.
I know. God.
Yeah. No. Oh, I love that it's like this project. Well, and then there's people who, and like, it doesn't make them, any less valid of a comedian or an artist, but like have sort of just been favored by the industry. So they haven't had to do the like as much of the DIY hustle part.
Right.
And that's how it is. But it's like, I can't get advice from someone whose whole career has been like, they got scooped up really early. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, yeah. And then my agent just got me this. And then, they pushed me to this because I'm like, that's great. Good for you. My agent got me that is not a thing that is advice I can take right now. Cause I have,
a bunch of agents at every agency doing the same thing we talked about at the beginning, you know.
We love
on you. Oh, you're great.
Yeah, we're tracking you.
It's like, we have no idea what you've done, but just in case you blow up on something on your own, we want you to think that we love you.
Yeah.
Like, is basically all I hear. Is like, okay, well, great, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like this different... And then sometimes doing things outside of, for me, with, you know, like, because I came into like stand-up and I self-identify as like a stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. So trying to do other projects, I do sometimes feel like...
You feel like a fraud? Or?
Scared. Or like that it's like, oh yeah, like there's this little part of me that is like, I'm a stand-up. And then it's like, oh, is it corny that I'm doing other stuff? Like, and then I'm like, who am I worried about thinking it's like, I am corny. Like, I write literally corny jokes. But then I'm like, oh, if I do, you know, a one-woman show, like I'm writing a musical, if I try to do silly sketches, is it like, oh, what do I think I'm clawing at? But like,
right. No, I think that there's like, especially like as stand-ups, like, because there's no like track into the industry. There's no, like, like everyone's path is different.
Absolutely.
Every track is different. And it's like, okay, well, if you know, sorry, I just fully lost my train of thought.
And her track has broken.
It's off the rails.
Collided into an open ravine. Oh, wait, let me go back to when you spoke to a few comedians who told you, you know, maybe think about doing 15 instead of 30.
Oh, they were trying to talk me out of doing the album at all.
Oh, I was on...
But then they talked me down to just 15, basically. That's what I left the conversation.
People love to also like project their fears onto you.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about some of this after, but like, you know, oh, don't do it till then. Oh, do you think you're ready? I had a boyfriend when I was recording my album. Like, well, you know, I wouldn't, and like, he had seen me a few times and like, I'd been on a couple shows with him where like, you know, sometimes I did well and sometimes when we started dating, I would bomb in front of him. Yeah. Like I was like nervous and whatever. But I just remember I was going home, like already advertising, like recording my album, like really excited. And he's like, well, I just don't know. You know, I wouldn't want to record an album until I like had an hour. And I was like, yeah, I have an hour. What do you think I'm going to fart in a microphone for like 20 minutes? And then even I was doing Ari Shafir's podcast. And he's like, yeah, I think people should wait like 10 years before they do their first album. Saying that as I was talking to him about recording my album. Mm-hmm. And my album came out right before he released the episode. And I texted him and I was like, hey, just well, you know, my album's #1. Which doesn't mean anything, but it was just sort of like, hey, like this is exciting. Yeah. And he ended up being, you know, in the episode, he's like, in the intro, he's like, you know, it's really exciting, whatever. But everyone has their own hangups on their timelines or like when they think they're ready or... I mean, myself included, I get scared to do stuff to the point of like never submitting things because I'm like, oh, what if I did a TV set and it bombed? And by the way, not saying that like if I sent in my tape, I would have been on every late night. But there have been times where I'm like, this is probably a good TV set, but I don't know, and et cetera, et cetera. People get hung up on their own shit, and then they'll, you know, splatter that onto you. And I mean, comedians. I think by nature, it's like, in a way we're brave because we'll, you know, go up and say the things that people are thinking, but like, you can't say that out loud. But I think we're all fucking also huge pussies in other ways. Yeah. We're all insecure. We've all had fucked up, you know.
Scared, insecure.
You don't get in. Rarely does someone get into comedy and stay in comedy from just a completely supported and confident life. Although you see people do that and they also seem to do well sometimes. So.
I don't know though. Like when you start digging though, you go, oh, actually your home dynamic is crazy. Yeah, both parents were there, but were they actually there for you?
Exactly. That's the funny thing too.
You have
the
money,
perception.
but do you have love? You know what I mean? There's like
always something.
All these things. But yeah, I mean, I that's definitely something that I'm learning in real time is like, like the people who are like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, should you do? It's like, actually, I should, and I'm gonna keep doing that because. I need to, like, I'm not given, at this stage, I've been passed up for stand-up jobs, I've been passed up for acting jobs, I've been passed up for writing jobs, and like, that's fine, like, I'm okay with
There's only so many spots, whatever.
Right, it's okay. My number will come up eventually.
I don't worry about it.
Right, I plan on, in the future, I bank on future me, but right now, I'm like, okay, what can I do so that when that happens,
I'm prepared,
but also, I have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have the portfolio of work to back up all of that shit. So.
Yeah, that like when you get your first like, little or big, you never know what it's going to be, like a stand-up thing, and then people go searching for other stuff. Now you have all this other work to show, because that'll start happening in like where you release an album in the future, all of a sudden you also see spikes in your old albums because people are coming for you for this album, they've just heard of you,
right? And
they're like, oh, what's this? So it's like having that bank. Oh, what I was going to ask is, did you record a half hour and go, this is the 15 I like, or did you go, was it more strategic than that? Did you like for any like type of branding, or this is what I want to be out of me first?
Yeah, initially I wanted to do a half hour, but then I sort of like, so on the actual day of the recording, I actually recorded 20 minutes. I cut out probably like 3 jokes because I was like, either like this is just how dumb comedy is I have a joke about my boyfriend who is he's a quarter Japanese, so he looks very white, but he is not. And I didn't know that when I met him, so I thought he was a proud boy, and I was like, I'm gonna have to hate fuck this racist, oh my god, he's so cute, and da-da-da. But so on the recording, the punchline, the word order, I like kind of flubbed it or something. And the next day my mom texted me and she goes, it should just be their ally. Like, he's not a Nazi, just their ally. Because Japanese, German, whatever. Of course. And I'm like, God damn it. No, I can't. If
I'm going to cut something,
I'm going to cut that whole fucking joke. And but now it hits hard every time.
So it'll be ready for
the next one.
Whenever. Yeah, there's probably jokes on my album that I'm like, I know there's 100% jokes that are immensely better.
And you're like, I cracked the word order literally the next day.
Yeah. So I flub things. You can hear me sipping a glass of wine too, which is just, I was like, in between bits, I would just like sip my wine and I
into
drink
the mic, Jessica. Just literally pull
I think I just was like, I think I'm just a loud drinker, but as you guys can probably hear right now.
So I had recorded more. I ended up cutting, and I was like, well, I even told my manager, I was like, I'm gonna record extra and then see where I fall, and I'll cut as needed. And so I did that. But then what's so interesting is, so I even advertised it, I think, as I'm recording like an EP, like I'm recording a short set, basically. And then like maybe a month later, there was a record label who did a night of EP recordings, and they recorded like 3 or 4 people's sets.
And you're like,
I was like, so I am ahead of the trend. Yeah. Like we've had 15-minute sets for quarter-hour sets from Netflix, but we haven't really seen that in the album.
It's like nobody releases singles.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what's next.
Yeah.
We got to start releasing short jokes. Let's get on it.
I kind of am
I've been thinking like, we should do like a female compilation album.
Now I would love that, but here's the only problem.
The administrative of like the finances and stuff.
Right, because now TuneCore can do some of that for you and all of that, but to me that's just losing money. I'm just losing money on the thing. But then I look at we've talked about this too, like doing like specials like Women Who Kill, which is a great special on Netflix.
Absolutely.
It has Marina Franklin and Amy Schumer and all these fucking heavy hitters on there. And they're all doing like, I think 10 or 15 minute sets, and it's on Netflix.
Which is also great because you can just come out and smash.
Right.
Like,
and then fucking get out.
And then and done before like.
Get out. Yeah.
Before anything slows down.
So I love that. I'm like, I could see myself in the future self-producing something like that. And then.
I would love to if I was ever like a big name.
But this is before they got like super famous. But they had also already been on TV by that point.
That's true.
So it's like
do like a Cunts of Comedy tour.
Yeah.
And people will be like, I don't want to be on that tour. It's not really my brand. I'm
also, we can't advertise this anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to the drawing board.
It's just very interesting. But that's why I just like literally the day the album came out, I was like, okay, so next year when I record, I'm going to record an actual half hour. I'm going to release it the same way. I will have learned a lot, like spell check your title so that your album art isn't misspelled. So funny. Or pay somebody $50 to do it. Yeah. I was so like broke / cheap. I didn't let anybody else touch any part of the album.
I don't even want even someone. I get it because it's like even people offering to help when you're in that. I mean, in that zone
I'm
all
like,
the time.
I don't want to like pay you, and also I want control of the product.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing is
I
that
don't
even
have the skill to like control it properly.
Yeah, that's the hard part is like not wanting to relinquish, but being like, I'm not qualified for this part.
Yeah.
Do you think, because you talked about having like a bit about like your boyfriend, do you think your comedy I think is inherently personal.
Very personal.
A lot of people's comedy is, but do you anticipate just 30 minutes of whichever jokes you like the best? Do you have any plan for like some sort of like a theme or how do you feel about stuff like that?
So I've been thinking about it and I'm like, okay, so to start, I feel like the first 5 years of comedy, I think, is like really figuring out who you are, like the identity jokes. So like, here's who I am. Here's where I came from. This is da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like it like circles out and spirals out into a bigger other people in the world,
society, and
some people start out there and go the other way. But I'm definitely starting from me and then spiraling out to bigger conversations. Like I have jokes now, like even since recording that I've written that are about, this gun violence thing and like talking about cancel culture, but it's really a joke about my cat peeing on my boyfriend all the time.
So funny.
But it's stuff like that. So
it's great when you can like try to wrap some like heavy topic and you're like, this is a nuanced bit about our culture. And it's like a shit joke. That's what I like to think that I'm like, I write smart jokes. I'm like, no, if you really listen. And I'm like, I called a diarrhea joke my magnum pupus once. Like, it's not.
You're great.
It's ridiculous to be like, no, you gotta think.
But I mean.
But that is a real thing.
Yeah. So
that's a way to also make it digestible.
Right.
It's like take this huge issue and then make it silly.
Yeah. I mean, I have thought about like, what is the next one going to be? I haven't decided if it's going to be like jokes built around one thing or like all jokes on a subject.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I don't know yet.
It's like also you don't want to force it too much.
Right. And also because I'm still writing right now to like kind of also because I've told you this, but I have like some baby headliner dates coming up where I'm like doing like smaller rooms like in the Pacific Northwest in my hometown in Dallas.
Are those all on your website?
Yes.
MadisonShepard.com. Or they will be by the time.
Yeah, by the time this is up. So, it's also building. I'm just kind of fleshing out more stuff to make sure that everything hits and whatever, So I guess I'm going to see. But I wouldn't probably record until next fall or something.
Give it at least a year, see where you're at.
Yeah. Because I recorded this in August, so probably like August or September of next year. And see where I am, see what the jokes are, see if I have a theme going. If there's,
Well, because so much can change. I mean, in August this year, I was like, I want to make a special of my album in a year to a year and a half. And the hour I was doing in August has now, there's still jokes that are going to be, but I like threw out that format to the side. And there's this whole other chunk I added that's like about mental health. And I was like, it's just who knows? But that's kind of the fun of the process is like if you can just go, I'm just gonna let it go where it goes.
Yeah, just like free write until I get there,
until the joke comes.
Also, like I think I don't know if I've told you this maybe, but like I want to write a book.
Yeah,
that's like a thing I want to do, and so I'm trying to like talk myself out of self-publishing a book.
Yeah, well, it can be done well, like, but also I feel like with book self-publishing. I have my thoughts on it.
I literally don't know anything, but
it could. But you can make like good,
right? Oh, I sent you that lady's stuff,
like solid, like an actual book,
Because
I've seen self-published things where it's like in the like spiral stuff, and you're like, I don't want to go out like this. I don't want anyone to see my name and go, that's fun that she did that.
Yeah, no, I would want it to actually be a bound book and all of this, and so, but also,
I'm curious on what the publishing.
I don't know.
As far as like them, fucking you.
Right. Because
they're like record companies like too.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. So part of me is like, I'm just going to start doing like a blog a week to like build like kind of this collection of work so that I can kind of figure out like what a book would be about that. Because it'd be nonfiction.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm wanting to do is like a life book or something.
Right. But here's the thing. Like there are comics who like kind of their big first credit is their book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
they
true.
like coming out with a book. They come out with a book early on about like their thoughts about whatever.
Yeah,
And
like Jamie Lee did like a wedding book.
Right, and now she has a Netflix show
Was she
based on
married
it.
when she had that book?
I think she had just gotten married.
Okay. I was like, wait a second.
Danielle wrote on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
So Danielle Perez, everybody.
Yes.
Very funny.
Former guest of the show. I want to re-record. I took down her episode because it was really early on. The first 4 episodes, the audio quality was so bad. Speaking of self DIY, so I need to I want to re-interview her.
Yeah,
but yeah,
she has so many beautiful, lovely things to say.
Yeah,
also she's a big old bitch, and I love her. Yeah, so yeah, man, so I'm just now the wheels are turning. It was kind of like a weird confidence boost to release my own shit. Cause now I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do?
You're like, I can do this. You're like, oh, yeah, it feels like the sky's the limit.
I'm like, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to keep doing this until shit pops.
Yeah, because I think for a lot of people, until you do it, you see other people release albums, you're like, wow, an album. And it is exciting. But then you go, oh, that's not out of my reach. Mm-hmm. What else is not out of my reach?
Right.
What more can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. What's the name of your album? So people know.
Oh, it's Good Night Silver Lake Lounge.
Or Goo Night Silver Lake Lounge.
Goo Night Silver Lake Lounge.
For those of you downloading it on the major stores
Spotify, iTunes, where most people listen to stuff. No biggie.
That's so funny. Do you know your dates off the top of your head?
Okay, so I'm going to be in Portland, Seattle, Tacoma, January 9th, 10th, and 11th. Awesome. And then I'll be, I don't remember the exact place, but find it on my website. But then also I'll be at the Dallas Comedy House February 7th. And some other stuff sprinkled in between here and there.
Go see MadisonShepard.com for that. And where can people follow you?
The
Madison. Thank you.
Because MadisonShepard.com is too expensive. So the Madison Shepard.
That's so funny that's like a thing.
Yeah, they've just been sitting on it since they had this child named Madison Shepard. And I could have bought it. By the way, at any point, I saw that it was available and I just never bought it because I didn't have any work.
You're like, what am I going to put on a headshot?
Right.
Like, this is my website.
Actor's resume. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But I have a website. I mean, everyone's like, get a website. But I'm like, but if I have nothing to put there, I'm just paying for a page.
Right, exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And where can people follow you?
Instagram at Madison_Shepard or Twitter at Madison Shepard. And Facebook, I guess, if you want to like my page, just Madison Shepard, official Madison Shepard.
Yay! It's official. Thanks for sitting down with me, and I never took the time to pull the curtain back on my own experience. So this has been really cool to get to share this and hear your journey.
Yeah, man. Listen, we have to just we're not people who are plucked up early, so we just need to
no child left behind.
So we just need to make work and keep making work.
Yeah, it's also and sharing that info. Some people are so weird and stingy about sharing how to do things. And it's for what?
For why?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, DIY, Madison Shepard, yay! What would you guys make? What are you thinking of making? You gonna put out your own project? You want to see me put out another album? Should I do really short EPs like I talk about in the episode of just random thoughts? Or should I just focus on my goddamn podcast so you guys get the content you want and stop leaving you to go gallivant among other projects? I don't know what I'm saying. I need my coffee. If you like the podcast, subscribe, rate, review it on iTunes, share it with your friends because everyone's a little bit ignorant sometimes. I'm going to set up some cool interviews coming up. I'm trying to do a transgender friend of mine and a few other things in the pipeline. Some cool identity stuff, which I think we're all curious about and we all want to learn more about. And I've been trying for a while. So thank goodness. It's almost a new year. Maybe I'll do a New Year's end of the year wrap up thoughts episode. You guys let me know. Go to the Facebook group, Ignorance is Blessed Idiots, #blessed. Join the Patreon, patreon.com. Shout out to that was patreon.com/ignorance is blessed. And speaking of that, shout out to the League of Extraordinary Idiots, John, Gene, Dustin, Kathy, Terry. You guys genuinely keep these episodes flowing. And I'm so thankful for all the patrons. Thank you guys for always interacting, even though, I fall in and out of being responsive. I'm doing my best, and I super appreciate all of you and your support because this is a one-man show, and it helps me keep it moving and saying no to bullshit advertisers. So if you want to join the League of Extraordinary Idiots and be part of our monthly Google... Oh, we're not doing the Google Hangs anymore because I was failing all of you. Listen, there's other cool content. We've got prizes. We've got merch, postcards, whatever. I don't know. Suggest ideas. Maybe I'll incorporate them. I don't know. I'm falling apart. Patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed. I already said that. I wasn't trying to plug it twice. I just went off script and said it and then realized I was in the script. Because I close on a script. Because I don't want to miss anything. Please keep in mind that no guest is or claims to be a representative for every person who has a similar identity or project. In this case, they're just one person sharing their own experience and ideas to help us get a peek at how things look from their situated position in the world. If you have additional questions about Madison or any guest you want a topic covered, hit me up. Put it in the Facebook group. Let's do this. You can tweet at me at JMS Comedy, message me on Facebook, anywhere, but Facebook group is probably the best move. And I will always do my best to deliver what I can. The more we ask, the more we learn, the more we know. And the more we know, well, the more we can look down on others who aren't as smart as we are. And isn't that the point? Thank you for listening. And thank you for being patient with my ignorance. See you soon, idiots.